All right, part 2 of our quick nutrition video. I had to stop actually because I needed some carbohydrates. So even when you're sitting around, my brain is using carbohydrates. My body is using carbohydrates. So I chose a very low glycemic snack, some blueberries, but it gives me some carbohydrates. It gives me some type of energy. And so I can continue on talking as much as I am right now. But I will pause the blueberry taking as I just took a handful. But what I wanted to show you now, excuse me, what I wanted to show you now is our race and training fueling plans that we have at Angela.Naeth.Coaching. So what we do is we take an athlete's intake and we look at what you've done in the past, what's worked, what's not, all sorts of questions, and we have a huge intake form, and we create a pre-workout, post-workout fueling guidelines and a race plan for you so that you have something very easy to look at and to practice at. So what does it all include? It includes your pre-race nutrition that you will have 2 days before, and you can practice this during your training. And then a race morning prep, your breakfast guidelines, your race day fueling plan. And we also look at sweat testing, which we have not gone into, which is the sodium and the amount of fluid that you need along with carbohydrates, which is just as important. But I tend to find that people really don't use carbohydrates the way that they're supposed to. So that's why that focus. But salt or sodium, and hydration is really, really key. And so this is where we do our sweat testing and your personalized analysis so that we can get you something that works for you individually. And then there's obviously some add-ons that are always available in terms of continued coaching and support. So what I want to show you is an example of our, let me get it here, of our PDF of an athlete. So this is an example of myself. This was done for me for Ironman Lake Placid. We look at, so after doing a sweat test, we've determined that my sweat rate is 1 liter an hour roughly for about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around what it would be in Lake Placid. So again, your sweat rate does change, and so we work with you on that on your specific races and or training environments. So in this plan is we have a very detailed pre-race. So what I like to do pre-race, this is 48 hours before my race. I have 1.5 cups of oatmeal with some honey. I have some whole grain gluten toast with some jam and a banana. I work out. Then I have a peanut butter and gluten-free bagel. And then I get into some really simplified foods, like example, a grilled chicken, white rice. I have some yogurt, an orange. Again, this is 48 hours before. So I do have a little bit more fiber than I usually do. And then I would get into some garlic bread and some pasta and salmon, okay? So from there, I really tone it down. And for the 24 hours before my race, I typically have a really big breakfast the day before and taper off my carbohydrates. Now this is for a marathon, for a half marathon, half Ironman. It's all typically very close to what I like to do in terms of how I taper off the big glycogen loads in the morning so that come race day, after I have a bowel movement and all my bathroom stuff that I need to do, this is already digested and in my system. So I like to really load up my system at the 24 hours in the morning and then taper off as the day go by. And I like to eat quite a bit of gluten-free pretzels because they're really easy to digest. They have sodium, I hydrate well, and we really make sure that you have enough fluids as you do this. So that's the important key. You can eat the carbohydrates, but you need the fluids along with to make sure you get them into your muscles. That glycogen load is really topped off. So ideally, if you were to ever weigh yourself before and after a glycogen load, so just before a race, you should roughly be a few pounds heavier than on typical, because you not only have the fluid retention, but you have the glycogen loaded in your muscles. That is weight gain, and it's not weight gain in the sense of a bad weight gain or something that you don't want. You want that because that showcases that you have a full tank. You have a full tank and you're ready to optimally perform. So then what we do is we dial in your pre-race targets and look at exactly a plan for you. Now, this looks really complicated, but it's not, because what we do is we go over it with you and make sure that, okay, every hour you're going to take in 3 of your specified gels. You're going to have this much fluid. You're going to have this much sodium. And then we create an action plan for you, whether it's a marathon or a half marathon or an Ironman or 10K. Anything of the sort does require some type of plan that you can practice in training. So we recommend you practice this on many, almost every single effort and workout that you do within the context of zone 1, 2, 3 should be utilizing your race program and protocols. This is how you practice and get your body really accurate into using these fluids and carbohydrates. So come race day, you will have no issues, I promise you. So many people make the mistake of getting a plan like this or creating a plan, but never actually utilizing it during training. So come race day, they have GI upset, they get sick, they have to go to the bathroom a ton of the times. It's because your body's like, what the heck is going on? It's way out of whack because you've never showed it how to fuel optimally. So this is where practice comes into play. And it goes on here for every specific hour, and then you can practice it, and it becomes almost like second nature. I always make a bottle that's about 200 grams of carbohydrates in it with some fluids and a little bit of salt, and I mix that. Like, I just know my numbers so well that I don't even have to practice this. But once you have it and you have it outlined, this is something you can go back to and tweak it if you need to. And this is where the ongoing support happens as well, to help support you in terms of tweaking it if things aren't as well as you hoped. And then what we do is the full race plan and then just a nutrition packing list. So after we've created a plan for you, all you have to do before you go out to a race, like this is for an Ironman, so there's quite a bit of carbohydrates on load. I know that I need to pack 13 gels, 7 caffeinated gels. I need to make sure I have this much in a bottle and how many bottles I need, so that when I come pack, I know exactly what I need to put into my bags and I can go to that race. So it really makes it really self-sufficient and easy to use, and there's no questions or concerns about what I need to pack and take, and it makes it super easy to look at, tweak, and reevaluate. So if you have any questions, please come to me at info@Angela.Naeth.Coaching.com. We are happy to help and answer any questions, look at things for you, and really dial in your nutrition. I can't tell you enough how important nutrition is, whether you're doing a 5K, 10K, half, a marathon, an Ironman, a 70.3, a 10K. You want to optimally perform, you need to have a plan and practice it day in and day out. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to text me at any point, or actually email me at any point. Thank you.